So I would like to just point to what we're going to do today is we're going to run through the products quite quickly and then open up for Q&A. Holly is going to present. We have, as you can see, an agenda that's quite full, so we will move along quite quickly, but we intend for this not to be a one-off. We used to do webinars on a regular basis, as well as in-house 3-day certification courses. So this is the first one since COVID, and hopefully it will be the first of many. And with that, I will pass over to Holly.
Okay, so for those of you who are not aware, Michael and Nancy and Bobby and I have all worked together for, gosh, 13 years? Is it 13 or 14?
That would be 13 and a half. I'll split the difference.
Okay, 13 and a half. We actually started at Falia way back when. And in 2014, Michael branched off to create Joli Cameleon with the purpose in mind that we really care about people who need hair, and we wanted to make application-specific hair. So we wanted to sort of keep in mind the types of people who need hair, who are going to be spending more money on hair because they need it as an investment piece, and who really love hair. And those are the types of people that we have really brought into the fold, is people who really care about hair, love hair, both the hair replacement centers and hair loss specialists, as well as the customers themselves. Michael, do you want to say a little bit about Joli Cameleon?
Yes, I think that the most important thing is things we learned from our previous association. My mentor in this business, I actually came out of the high-tech business, and this happened just by accident, and then it became a passion. But the gentleman known as Rene Paris, Rene Hafid, was the gentleman who introduced me to my wife about 33 years ago, and introduced me to wigs in the 80s. And I helped him when he sold his business to Adorans, the Japanese company, who many of you know because they own Hair Club and American Hair Goods and others. And Rene asked me to help him with a project with his son Daniel and himself. And so we started Falia in the US in 2008. But the one thing that we felt after Rene passed away, we went in different directions. We felt that we wanted to focus on some applications that weren't being served. For instance, we designed the original gripper wig for alopecians, but we found that it wasn't great for athletes. And so we wanted to see if we could create a better design. And also we learned that being beholden to one factory had its pluses and minuses. And so we decided to work on some of the reasons that the factory couldn't move fast enough. We wanted to be able to move faster and innovate faster. And we do like to innovate. We're kind of crazy about that. We believe in continuing design innovation, and some of our accessories are probably the easiest place to see that. But that's all I would like to say now. Really, we represent a high quality, I hope high value brand. Everything is a little topsy-turvy. During COVID, I hear stories of supply chain disruptions. We went through ours last year, and we've been stable for 9 months now. We're turning around custom orders in around 12 weeks on average, and have been doing it for a while. And we have all of our major product lines in regular production. So over to you, Holly.
All right, so I'm going to link in the chat for you all the QRG guide that this meeting is based on. So this is a quick reference guide. If you haven't already seen it, it's basically got pictures of the caps as well as information about what they mean. And then this also has an availability sheet, but that is only sent out typically to the platinum members who have committed to buying one piece a month of a certain value. They also get like a consignment program. So the QRG guide by itself with like the info is available to anyone. The availability is specifically sent out regularly to platinum members. So just FYI. So you can use that link that I put in the chat if you want to take a look at it. We're going to be basically going through the QRG, aka quick reference guide, while we do this. So we're starting with the Joli Dancer. So this is one of our most special and most popular wigs. This was specifically designed for people with alopecia totalis, universalis, as well as chemo clients who have lost all of their hair. It is a silicone-based wig. So here is the cap. You can see that it's got these silicone panels. This is medical grade silicone. So on the temple, it has a special stay. It's like a V stay. And that is so that it contours better to the ear than just like a single stay. And then in the front, you have the silicone panel, as well as a lace front edge. The parting portion is called a flexi top. That is basically a skin looking top, but that's much thinner than like a traditional French top. So a French top is where they hide the knots and the return hairs and shave them, but it can be a bit thick. So this scalp effect, see if we can get it on camera, looks like a natural scalp. But it does have some return hairs that blend in to the actual wig itself so that you can get volume and you have a very thin piece. So like I can just fold this right in half. So that makes it a very lightweight option for people who have been wearing heavier pieces, especially people who've been wearing like the vacuum wigs and stuff where they feel like they're wearing a helmet. So the feedback we get from customers is typically that they don't feel the wig at all. And some people actually are kind of freaked out by that. So we have what we call a 30-minute test where we have them sit in a cap for 30 minutes and they start to feel it warm up to their head, and then they can shake their head around and it won't go anywhere. So the idea of this is no tape, no glue, just you. So that's the sort of fancy marketing for that. So in the back we have,
I was just going to say, if I may, the reason that it is special, that there are many copies now, actually, a number of copies now of this wig, but the reason they don't perform the same is the research that we did to find out why the silicone wigs weren't performing when the wearers got hot, when they were sweating, especially when they were doing marathons or dancing, etc. So we use a special process, and that silicone actually gets more effective the warmer it gets. And unless you physically release the contact between the silicone and the scalp, it actually stays and sweat doesn't get underneath it.
And it comes out through the fine material. So it's a very thin cap that allows the sweat to come out basically in between anywhere that there's silicone. The primary contact points are actually just the front, back, and temples, especially the front and back. This was based on the geometry of an actual head. So it's shaped a little different than a traditional wig cap. And that's why, because for people who have a need to have or want to have a gripping wig that they don't have to tape or glue, it's really important to have good contact in the front and in the back below the occipital bone. And then when they wear it, they really don't have to worry about it. A lot of kids like to wear this because at the playground, you know, when someone's pulling their hair. We have hot yoga instructor Francesca, who's the person on most of the artwork for the dancer. She's a professional dancer and a hot yoga instructor. So, you know, we've tested this for many years, and this is the latest iteration that we have. So this is, I would say, probably the most popular wig and the wig that's kind of started it all for us, because we really had a passion for total hair loss and making sure. So this is the 11-inch. So it's 11 inches layered, so all the hairs are 11 inches. And then overall from, yes?
I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but I wanted to make sure I asked. I have, sometimes people need a cut around the ears. With that being the construction that it is, are you able to cut it around the ears?
Well, There's a ribbon edge in the front. So theoretically, you could cut it, but I personally don't really recommend it because you can start to split the materials. So over time, it may not stay, like the integrity of the cap may not stay as well because you're going to be letting stuff underneath the silicone from where it's sealed. So
Okay.
if you might be able to reseal it, but basically we wouldn't really be able to do much about it if something happened after you had cut it. So I have had some people do that, and then they like resealed it with their own silicone.
The only place to cut it would be on the front edge where the lace is. Is that correct?
Yeah, the front edge lace is designed to be cut.
Chrissy,
Okay.
I want to say it's a very good question. One of the design features of the dancer is that it is designed to be able to stay in extreme performance, such as a sprinter. I don't know if you've ever seen a sprinter's cheeks. You'll see in the Olympics, they flap like that. And the idea is that the wig stays on, those stays, but also the cut around the ears is quite high. And we're in our 5th iteration now of contouring, but it's quite high. And the hairdresser's skill making baby hairs is what allows you to make that ear adjustment rather than the material. So you will find that the dancer automatically comes up higher around the ears than, for instance, our Trésor, for that reason.
Yeah, so here's like a traditional wig ear tab. This is a Trésor. So that's a traditional ear tab, just basically like every wig you've ever seen. And you can see that this one is a much different shape. So typically they do fit pretty well for people who need to have higher ear tabs and for people who wear glasses and things like that. That's
So
one of the
not
reasons.
only is the shape of it different, but the amount of hairs in that area is thinner because of the construction of the way the hairs are made. Is that what you're saying, Michael?
No, I'm actually saying that there is enough hair there to create sideburns using baby hair.
But it is
Okay.
quite
Using
fine.
material. Yes.
Okay.
So it's not super thick in this area. It's thick enough to hide the material, but not crazy thick.
Okay, thank you. I'm new to wigs, so I'm sorry. I'll try and keep my questions to minimum.
No problem. And we
There,
will have a Q&A at the end too. If you have, even more questions, it's no worries. What do you?
this is
Sorry,
the
Mike?
1722. I don't know if you had it available, so
Yeah,
I
I do.
went out and got it out. Perfect. This one is fiery copper, so she's going back here. And also
So
notice,
again-
not stick straight. This is just what happens when you air dry our Joli Dancer. You can tell it's not Chinese hair.
Yeah, so this one's been styled with a blow dryer. So this is the 11/16, 11 inches strand length, 16 inches from crown with all the layers combined. So when you see 11/16, that's 11-inch strand length and 16 inches from the crown with all the layers combined. So that's what that means when you look at our catalog. So I will also show the 1722. So this on this mannequin right here, I've got a slippery mannequin conversion kit on it, so it's like double grippy. Okay, so this is the 1722. So this hair is 17 inches. And then if you measure all of the layers together, it's 22 overall to the bottom. So this is the longest length that we offer. We currently offer 11/16 and 17/22 as lengths. So that is the Joli Dancer. She is sticky. That's the whole point. Yeah. So the idea is that when you're doing all of that, it's not going anywhere. So the same thing for anyone who's wearing it. And that's on a mannequin, so that's
You had a
not even.
question.
Holly, can I ask a question?
Sure, of course.
One of the catalogs that I have here, you're talking about the Joli Dancer Easy Wear Comfort Back and the one that's Easy Wear Hand Tied and Sportive. Do you have a sample of what that looks like? What is the difference between one and the other?
I can respond to that. Amalia, thank you. We have not introduced the Comfort Fit back versions of the dancer since COVID, because frankly, we have now been putting silicone in all of the stock Tresors that are coming in. And so we feel that that's fitting the gap. And frankly, a lot of the demand for dancers, we have over 1,000 wearers. So there's a lot of repeat orders. So in order to keep inventory coverage, we are staying right now with the all hand tied sportive, and we can make them any way you want them, but in stock. And I think you know very well the Tresor line, so you can let us know afterwards if you want, if it's working for you, or if you think that we should be making the.
Okay, no, that's perfect. I just want to know for future, because of ordering these dancers, I keep on always going back to the original one, the last model, not the 5. So that's fine. That answers my question. I don't have to worry about it. Thank you.
So we do have a few in stock of the previous secondary model that we offered, which was the Liberté. And we can, of course, order them from the factory if people want. I will show you, even though we're going to be mostly focusing on the dancer, but I am going to show you the Liberté just so that you can have an idea of what it looks like. So, because it is in the QRG. So this is the Liberté. It's also a silicone option. It has the temple, top temple, or temple, front temple silicone, and then silicone in the back with a wefted back. This is the Comfort Fit back. So it has like the lining, close together wefts so that you can't see the wefts from the back. It also has that lace front edge and then the V-stay. So this model, we have a couple in stock and we can obviously order them, but primarily the dancer is the one that's going to be in stock. But I did want to show you the option. Michael, did you have a comment?
The Liberté morphed into the Tresor with the silicone option. And when we started, we had 3 different silicone attached wigs, and the dancer turned out to be, it was the 4 out of 5 preference. And so we focused on that and brought the Tresor in because the hair is fantastic. And you know the line, as I say. And we decided that we would make that the semi-custom wig so we can add all sorts of attachment options to it. PU all around, combs and clips, silicone all around, or the hybrid, which is great for chemotherapy, is silicone and PU, PU on the temples and silicone in the forehead and the nape, as well as size changes.
So moving on from the dancer and other silicone options, the Tresor and Frenchie are sort of related to the idea of silicone, because we've added silicone as a standard option in these caps. So this is typically, these are raw virgin Russian hair. So this is just one example. Basically what happens is the best hair that we get, we pull it aside for the Tresor. So that's why if you look at the Tresor visual catalog that is on our website, you'll see a bunch of sort of random seeming lengths and colors. It's because we pull aside this unique hair that we get that is like the best of the best, just to put it into the Tresor. Michael, did you want to say something about the Tresor?
No, we keep quite a lot of stock of Tresors in Las Vegas, but also we keep generally somewhere between 100 and 200 pieces in the factory, and can create an optional attachment or size change generally within a week, including shipping. You can figure 2 weeks, 10 days. The 10 days is that magic period that we need to be there for chemotherapy clients. So that's the objective of this, is to be able to fit and provide custom attachments and measurements within that time frame.
So this is the standard cap basically for the Tresor. So in the front, on most of the models, you will have silicone panels for grip, silicone in the crown as well. In some cases, PU in the crown. On the sides, we did PU option so that they can tape it. And then in the back, there's silicone to grip in the back area. We can also do it with tape tabs all around. You can do it with clips and combs, so you can get a variety of things done on the Tresor. The primary selling point for customers on the Tresor is the hair itself. It's like buttery soft. It's ridiculously soft. And also, since almost all of these pieces are virgin, there's a couple that you'll see that say pre-colored, and that means that it's been colored a couple shades different to make highlights or whatever. But the Tresor can be colored. We had Bravadas of Dallas colored a number 10, which is about this color, all the way to a blonde, no problem. So it's a great piece for customization and also for people who really want that super soft hair, because this, I mean, it almost feels baby soft. It's very, very soft. So this can come in a variety of lengths, variety of cap options. Here's another one. It's a darker one. Again, virgin hair. This one has folded lace in the front, which I know Amalia likes. The back is the Comfort Fit cap. This is a really great cap for a lot of reasons. So a lot of people really want to have hand-tied caps in the back, but hand-tied caps don't last as long as a machine back. If someone's really rough on their wigs, they definitely want to be using a machine back, because in the back, you can get hair inverted if they wash it very poorly or scrub it. And also just in general, this will keep the hair going the direction it's supposed to go. So for someone who's going through chemo, especially, a machine back or a Comfort Fit back, which is what we call this particular one, is going to be a lot easier to manage, especially since they're going to be tired from chemo. So this has that Comfort Fit back, so it's lined and the wefts are fairly close together so that you don't see through them. And then in the top, this is a traditional French top. So it has no return hairs, which gives it a very sleek look. You can see it's quite flat. And then in the top, it looks like a natural scalp. And when it's wet, you can get more volume, and you can also part it anywhere in the parting area that the customer would like. So that's the normal length, like layered lengths that we offer. But we also have the, oh, where did I put that? Oh, right here. The Frenchy bob, which is another style of the Tresor, is a short 10-inch bob made with the same virgin hair. This is a great versatile option for hairstylists who want to make some short styles. So it comes as like a 10-inch slightly layered bob. So it's basically just 10-inch hair around in a nice little bob. So it's a shorter piece. And because it has that wefted back, the Comfort Fit back, when you're trying to cut shorter styles, you have to have those wefts in the back, because otherwise the hair's gonna look like a porcupine. The hand-tied caps don't look so great when you're dealing with really short hair. So if you want to make a short style in the back for like an older lady or a lady who just likes shorter hair, you definitely want the Comfort Fit back, because you need that hair to face downwards so that it doesn't stick out and look funny. So this is great for making short hairstyles. You can cut it into whatever kind of style you want. So it's basically a blank canvas. Michael, did you want to say anything about the bob?
Just in general, the Comfort Fit back has one other advantage from a business aspect. Is what we find is that it's much more adaptable to different head shapes. So generally speaking, if you have inventory items, the Tresor and the Frenchy bob version of the Tresor are really great to have for instant chemotherapy wigs, because they fit most people. They've got adjuster clips in there. They're actually easy to alter the size if you have the seamstress capability in-house. But in any case, they just stretch in multiple dimensions, which a hand-tied wig does not. So you have a much better chance of being able to have a client happy and walk out the door on her first visit than with all hand-tied pieces.
Michael, have you checked the waiting room to make sure no one's waiting?
Excuse me. I see no one there.
Okay. No worries. Okay, so that's the Tresor. Many of them come with this small lace front edge. And in the catalog, that's on the website and can be sent to you by Nancy, or anyone here really. You can tell because we have a picture version of the catalog, because I know the Tresor can be a little confusing since it comes in a variety of lengths and colors that come from raw hair. So the visual catalog, which we update regularly as they sell and we get more pieces in, will tell you what the attachment is by default on the stock cap, whether it has a small lace front, full lace front, temple to temple lace front, folded lace front, and any other details. So if it's layered, the color, and a picture of it. So it's on the website. If you go to our jolicameleon.com under products, there's a Tresor visual catalog. So we keep that updated, but also Nancy can send it to anyone who would like it. So feel free. Okay.
And it would be unusual that we can't provide a Tresor to meet your requirements within a 2-week time frame, because we also have in-house customizing capability. All of our color work post production is done in our LA studios, LA and Santa Barbara, and pre-production is done with the hair in the factory.
Some exceptions might be like gray hair, things like that, which we do carry gray hair, which I'll show you when we get into the top pieces. But gray hair is much more difficult to offer in a virgin hair type piece. Although we have had a customer in Rochester, Tina Semino, did color one of our Frenchies to a platinum ash blonde. It was like a super, super light blonde from a light brown. So we know that a lot is possible with them. All right, so let's move on. So the Joli V Couture 2 is an interesting topic because it's going to change a little bit as we grow into our new edition. So the Joli V and the Joli Couture are fairly similar pieces. The V is a hand-tied, sort of traditional cap with tape tabs, hand-tied back. So this is a very traditional cap, has a small lace front edge that you can cut back slightly. It's not super long, so you don't have to cut very much, but you just cut it back a little bit. And it has a flexi top so that it has more volume as well as a little bit more density. So that's the Joli V. It's made with premium European hair in our standard colors. So we don't have a ton in stock of these now because we're actually transitioning towards a new version, but these are available to meet the needs of your clients. So typically what will happen is if you call us asking for something, we can tell you a variety of options that you can have for your customer. So you might say, okay, my customer wants something hand tied in this color, in this size, and we'll tell you what we have in my Team Joli V. This is a medium size in stock. And then we have another version that's very similar, but that is lighter density and typically will fit petite heads fairly well. So this is sort of like a small medium, and that is the Couture. So this has been a very popular item for us, and we have a good amount of stock of it. So the back is hand tied, just like the Joli V, and it has tape tab in the back, tape tab at the temple, tape tab in the front, as well as a small lace front. So this one, by comparison, has a traditional French top. So you can see it's much flatter. And then it has that natural scalp effect. So this is a good option for people who want a little bit less density and who want to have something that's slightly smaller than average. This typically will fit medium and small heads. So that's what this is most often used for. It's a great option for chemo customers who want a hand-tied option. So we have quite a bit in stock, particularly in the shorter lengths, which has been the most popular length for this particular collection. Michael, did you have anything you wanted to say about the Couture?
No, the Couture has been excellent, but we feel that it is a general purpose wig and the applications tend to not be general purpose. The applications tend to be chemotherapy and significant androgenetic hair loss. And so in doing some testing, we also created another product line called the Solace and another product line called the Plume. We have some of those. We tested those alongside with the Trésor and the Dancer. And as a result of that research, the consensus seemed to be that there is a big interest in having a Joli Dancer with PU instead of silicone and not all of the strips. So effectively, the profile of a Joli Dancer with PU in the temples, forehead, and nape. And so we are doing that. And that is the basis for the Couture 2, starting in 2022. But we're already taking orders for them now. We have quite a few in production for specific customers. The hair is proven, the design is proven. It's in its 5th iteration. It seems to be a very low risk and a well-liked concept. So if we feel that there is a need for additional collections after creating the Couture 2 for stock, then we'll go back in and look again. But that's our current plan.
We're trying to also just make it easier on you guys because it's hard when you have so many different types of caps. So this is actually the Dancer, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to have this area and this area be PU instead of silicone, and then this area in the nape also PU, and then these panels will go away, so you won't see the silicone panels. So you won't have the strips, you'll just have a PU in the back, PU in the temple, and PU across the front, so that the customers will have a very lightweight wig that they can attach with tape. Because not everyone wants or can use silicone if they have a lot of bio hair that's shedding, or they're very sensitive, or they just want to feel comfortable by having the tape. So we don't have the PU version in yet, but that is the next iteration that we are planning on doing. And that will make it a lot easier on you guys because you'll have less explanations to give people about different paths.
The Couture 2 will also be an excellent alopecia areata wig versus alopecia totalis and universalis.
Indeed. Okay, so next up we've got the Esprit and Toujours. So let's pull those out. Okay, so the Esprit and Toujours are basically the same type of cap with a few changes. So the Toujours has a thicker density and fits slightly larger shaped heads. So this is more for medium and possibly large heads. It is a lace top. So this has a lace top with a PU tab in the front, PU tab in the temple, and PU in the back. And then it has our Comfort Fit cap, which has very close wefting so that you don't see it through the cap. So the benefits of a lace top is that they're breathable. You can sort of see the scalp slightly through it. So if someone kind of wants to have their scalp show through, they can. And then also it has like a lot of volume options, and it's very easy to clean because there's not really layers. In the flexi and the traditional French top, there's little layers that hide the knots. This is thinner because it's basically just tied onto lace, and then it has a lining so it doesn't scratch their head. So this is a very simple cap. People who have been familiar with wigs for a while may be comfortable in something that's like a lace top. So the Toujours, which is this one, has a thicker density. So you can see it's got quite a bit of hair in it than the Esprit, which I'll show you next. But they are both lace top machine back pieces. So the Esprit was designed to fit both small and medium heads. So it's slightly smaller and also has a finer density. There we go. All right, so it's the same cap. The difference is primarily the size that fits smaller heads, as well as the density. So you can see on this one, it still has quite a bit of hair, but not as much hair as the Toujours. So this is better for people who want a very natural look and don't have super thick hair on their own. Some people want a lot of hair, especially people who've worn wigs for a long time, because they might be used to having a ton of hair and not ready to go to a more natural density yet. So that's why we've offered both the Toujours and the Esprit. Michael, anything you want to say about that?
No, you're doing good, and I'm concerned about time. So
Okay.
keep moving. That's
We keep moving.
great.
Okay. All right. So we're going to get into the limited edition models next. So we have some pieces that basically we were testing.
Holly, may I make a suggestion? Let's skip them because we've got the feather whenever. The top's
Okay.
really important.
That's
and we have
fine.
accessories. We have a lot going on.
No worries. Okay. So the feather whenever is a wig that is a band fall wig. So what it is a very simple option. It's a great additional piece for people who have wigs already and need something that they can wear anywhere. So it has an elastic band and then the hair itself. So what typically people do is they will put it on with either a wig band or by itself. And then they will put, it comes with these Christine headbands that are made out of bamboo. So when someone wears this, they're just going to put it on their head. Just ignore my actual hair underneath it. So they'll put it on their head with or without a wig cap. And then they will put on a headband and they can put it up into a ponytail or do whatever they want with it. So it's a really easy thing to wear to like the gym, or if they want to go to the store and they don't want to put on a full wig, because you don't have to worry about like making your hairline all snatched, you know. So it's a very easy option for a person who already has a wig and needs an add-on, or wants something that's slightly less expensive than like a full wig. So this comes with 2 headbands. This is a nice European hair. It's fully comfort fit in the back. So the entire back is comfort fit. So this is a super easy, like ready to wear, just throw it on type of product. And they can use their own headbands if they don't want to use the ones that we put in, but these are really high quality headbands. In the new models, there's also going to be a bang that attaches into the front. That's optional. It'll come with a Velcro that they can Velcro onto the front or take off. And they can cut it or style it. It'll allow them to do side bangs. So when they have it on, they can do a side bang, or they can cut it and have like a full bang. And if they don't want it, they just take it off because it's Velcro. So that is the feather whenever. We do have the feather whenever 1 in stock, which has no bang. So if someone is looking for that, but we will be getting in the feather whenever 2 after we do some testing on the new model. Okay, and let's see. Okay, flexi tops. So the flexi, which is our primary top piece, is a clip-in top. You can also take the clips off and tape it. This is a size large, which is, why can I think of this? 6.5 by 7.
6 by 7.5.
6 by, why can I?
6
Sorry,
by
my brain's
7.5.
just not working. 6 by 7.5.
It's doing fine.
Okay, so that's the large size right there. You can see in the front, it's got a very thin edge. That is so that it can blend into their existing hair. So this is much more recommended than having the PU in the front, because usually people can see that. And it doesn't leave a very flat front. So typically, if someone needs to attach in the front, they will either put a clip or comb there, or they will use a lace tape. So the flexi, which you've seen in the dancer, has a natural scalp effect top, but it also does have some return hairs that blend in. Can't really see them because they're blending in, but it does have like 3.5, 4-inch return hairs that are blending into the hair. So that means that they can get volume or style it flat. This is also our gray color. So just FYI, we do have gray in stock in the dancer and in the flexi top, as well as a couple of the Joli V's. So in case you have gray customers. And then we also have the medium size, which is 5 by 6. So this is the medium. So you can see the difference. And then we have 14-inch length, which is this one here, and 18-inch length, which is this one here. So those are the two length and size options. This is premium European hair, the best European hair, matched to our color rate. So the flexi top, or we originally had a bunch of different top options, but the flexi top just really came out ahead of the curve. So that is what we primarily stock. We have a bunch in stock, and they can ship same day typically. Anything you want to say on the flexi, Michael?
14-inch length and 18-inch length stock.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah, and the two sizes, we've also done some XLs, 8x10. They're quite expensive, but just to let you know, we can do it. And
yeah, and we can do custom size, custom color as needed as well. All right, so the Easy Top is a mono top. We're currently working on a new version of this. So we are planning to upgrade this. We have not finished the prototypes yet, but as soon as we do, obviously we'll send out a mailing to you guys. So this is the 3 by.
If I may, Holly, this is a business issue. A lot of times, this is female program hair, if you like. A lot of studios are putting these bonded tops on clients, and they expect them to have at least 2 a year. And with the post-COVID availability of manpower, it's been very difficult. They become very expensive. It makes it a difficult business solution for program hair, if you like, a contract with a client. So we are looking at ways to keep the quality of the hair and try and make them in a lower cost way and still keep the quality up. And we have prototype work going on right now. And anyone who is interested will be pleased to provide more details. But I'm hopeful that we will be able to provide a viable solution for single layer tops that are bondable with good quality hair at a relatively reasonable price.
So currently what we have in stock is a 3x5, and that's pretty much the one that we have carried in stock, but I will show you another size. So the 3x5, we have the natural dark as well as a couple pre-colored pieces in stock now. It's a mono top with a PU perimeter and clips. You can remove the clips and tape or bond, or use the clips for on and off wear. So that's the petite. It comes in like a 16-inch length, but it is single drawn so that it blends in more naturally to the hair, as opposed to double drawn, which is very thick and blunt at the bottom. And then I will show you, this was an original prototype of our extra large size. So the extra large size is 8x10. We don't currently have this in stock, but we will be stocking it again when we have the new version. So this is a 8x10 trimmable, bondable option, which can also be taped on or clipped on if they don't want to bond it. And it could be trimmed in any area that there has PU. We could make them to order if someone wants to order one now, but we do not currently have the 8x10 in stock. We will also be doing a 5x6 as an option once we come through with a new line. So currently in the Easy Top, we do have 3x5 petites in stock.
We're actually making 4 sizes in the prototypes. So we're actually adding a large as well, a 6x7.5.
That's right. Okay, so we have an alternative option. The first time we have ever offered synthetic hair. Normally we only deal in European hair, but there has been a huge demand since we released the Feather Whenever to release a synthetic version because people want a price sensitive option. So this is the Magnific Hair, Magnificent Hair, Magnific Hair Fiber. It's a heat resistant fiber. So it's the same as the concept of the Feather Whenever. This has the Velcro bang on it already. So you can just take that off if someone doesn't want it. But it is synthetic hair. We're currently testing it with our alopecia ambassadors who say that it feels basically like real hair to them, and it feels similar to their Feather Whenever that they were already wearing. So we have had great feedback on these so far, and we are going to be getting a good stock of them. So this is basically a new offering that we have for customers who are looking for something more price sensitive, or also customers who want to be able to get the hair wet. So that's another big selling point on the Magnific hair, because human hair absorbs water. So when you're swimming, absorbs water, gets heavy, stretches out the cap. Doesn't, the chlorine or salt water can mess up the human hair. So for someone who wants to be able to go in the water, they're really going to want something synthetic as an option, because synthetic hair typically reflects water. So you won't have to worry about getting it super weighed down when you are, trying to enjoy yourself on a boat or swim around or do whatever. So that's one of the other reasons that we put this as an option. Michael?
And we believe we will be able to ship very shortly a version of our headbands, our decorative headbands that are quick dry, like swimsuit material, to go with them. So
as far as accessories go, we have a number of accessories. I do want to briefly mention that we still have some sanitizing pods. This is basically a sanitizer box. You just click the button and it opens up, and then you put a wig inside. And then you can sanitize it for people who are sensitive about COVID or concerned about, maybe they have sensitivities because they're immunodeficient. So that is an option. We do still have some of those. And we can get more.
Amalia, do you use yours? Can I ask? Can I put you on the spot? You're muted. Let me get you unmuted here. Can I unmute you?
I think she has to unmute herself.
Huh. Amalia?
Nah, still muted.
You're still muted.
Okay,
there we go.
There we go.
I use it all the time.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, whenever I finish with the client, the wig sort of stays there aside, and then I have this disinfectant spray, and then it goes into that unit.
Has it been good?
So far it's working.
Good. You've had it for a while.
Questions. We had a couple questions that I missed. Sorry. You're good, Amalia. Did you need to go to meet your client?
I'm sorry, my client is here. Nice to meet everyone. Thank you for everything.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks, Amalia.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you for joining us.
So we did have a couple questions that I missed. Thanks, Amalia. Is the feather good for children? Yes, it comes in a small size, and that's good for children. We have, how old is Madison now, Michael? 10, 9?
Madison's 10, I believe. Now, she was 6 when we first met her.
Yeah, so we have a 10-year-old who's currently wearing a feather whenever. And then basically
but she needed a wig band with it. Remember, it was it didn't fit until she had a wig band. Then it worked, a Jolly Grip wig band. Then it worked fine.
Yeah, which we will be discussing as part of the accessories. So the Jolly Grip wig band comes with each feather whenever. This is I'm sure you've seen this type of band. So this is our version of the band. So that comes with the feather whenever. So for people who have slippery hair or are slightly smaller than the standard small, medium size, they can wear this and it'll stay on, no problem. So we do have a 10-year-old. I don't know about, like 5-year-olds, but for like elementary age, typically, yes, it's good for kids. As far as the question from Wigglor for the high heat, we haven't really had any frizz issues, but I think it will depend on how much they heat style it. So by default, we haven't seen any frizz problems, but we also haven't had anyone who's done a ton of heat styling on them, because most of the people wear them straight and they come fairly straight. So not totally sure long-term yet, but so far, no frizz issues on the heat resistant synthetic. So this is a special fiber that we've done. Oh, friction fridge. No, I haven't noticed much issue with that, really. But we do have more testing to do, obviously, with the synthetics, because it's a new realm for us. So we will be keeping that in mind, because everyone knows that that's a typical issue that synthetics have. But so far, haven't had any friction fridge issues. Michael, Chrissy wanted to know the price of the sanitizing box.
I have no idea. I'll leave that for Nancy to follow up with Chrissy, please, because I don't know.
Okay, it's in our accessories book, but Nancy can give you the price.
the sizing issue for the Magnific Hair, we actually are going to produce 2 sizes, and we already have a test size for the kids coming up with 25% less density and 1 inch smaller elastic band that it's sewn on, and a 1 inch smaller cap base. We think that that will be good for kids. In fact, Amalia, who just left us, is interested to have that line for kids. She's already been testing the adult version for a while, both in human hair and in synthetic.
Thanks, Michael. All right, so moving on, we have the wig bands that we offer. These are the Joli grip bands. These are the ultra bands that we offer. It's the new version. They're extremely thin so that they don't, they don't feel like they're wearing a giant headband underneath their wig when they wear it. They have a longer Velcro back to fit more sizes. So you can see here, it goes all the way that distance. So it will fit more head sizes. And then also we offer now the Ultra Grip Lace, which is a lace insert version, so that someone who's wearing a lace top or something that's very sheer in the top can wear this without having an issue in their parting area. So we have a standard version that has just solid all the way around. And you can see here, it's probably easier to see on here, there's lots of crisscross stitching so that it doesn't come apart easily. So these are, I would say, probably the best in the market today. We've specially altered them to be as needed to make them the best. So we've done a ton of testing. We have 3 colors. We have the beige or nude color, also blonde is another option for that. And then we have a brown, it's like a dark brown, and then we have a solid black. So that's available in both the lace insert as well as the standard. And then we have the very popular Clearview wig stand. So that's this here. This is an adjustable wig stand. So you just unscrew this part here, and then this can go up and down. So this is at its highest. There we go. And then it can go all the way down as far as you need. So we have customers across the US who are selling this to every customer that they have, because they want them to have something to put it on after they style it or for storage. You can bring this on a trip because it comes apart, so they can break it into pieces and easily bring it with them when they go on vacation. So this is a super handy option, as well as one of our biggest customers is using them as displays. So in their studio, instead of having a whole bunch of mannequins that take up a lot of space, they've been using these instead because they're a lot easier to display on. It also comes with a semi-permanent attachment on the bottom, so you can just stick that there and it'll stick to the bottom. Michael, did you have a comment?
No, it's good. Permadiscs and 23.5 inches longest height or biggest height to 12.5 inches, the shortest height. Small footprint. And
on the top of that, we have this silicone flower. So that's on the top that helps to keep this from slipping. So when you have it's hard to see with the shine. When you have some hair on it, it prevents it from slipping, which everyone knows is a huge problem, right? Slipping mannequins, worst nightmare. Try to go to a show and it's just like, right? So we are also offering just the silicone flower. This is called the Slippery Mannequin Conversion Kit. It comes with an alcohol wipe to wipe your mannequin off, and then you just stick the silicone flower on, smooth down the petals, and it prevents your hair from sliding off of your mannequins. So that is an option that we do sell as a kit. And then we have the final thing that I will show you is that we have these clips. We have standard clips and we have tape clips. So the poly clips and the sew-in clips. So the standard clip is this particular clip. This is a sew-in clip. And we offer it in, typically we have about 4 colors in stock. Always have some form of black, brown, and blonde.
Just so as you know, almost all the clips on the market are made in China. These are made in Korea and South Korea. The difference is the springability, the life, and the way they hold the hair, the silicone in there. And we have distributors who buy them from us in thousands because even though they can get them cheaper, apparently these are the best on the market.
So there, you can see it has a little silicone bumper there that helps to hold the hair in without pulling. And then this is the tape option. So the tape option, you just put a little bit of tape on the one side, and then you can move it around. So someone who has like tractional tissue spots, you can move this around the inside of their cap so that they don't get the clip in the same spot all the time. And we have 3 colors in stock currently. So we have the blondes, the browns. I think this is it's hard, they're in a bag. We have a brown color and a black color. So the brown is like a dark brown. And those are our current clip options. So they are pretty popular just because of their ease of use and quality.
Have the blondes,
but I know
have the blondes all gone? Have the blonde, have the blonde Jolly Polly clips all gone?
No, we just got restocked. This is the restock.
Perfect. All right, good.
We had just sold out of them, so we got restock. We got restock of them.
Excellent.
So we just got restock after selling them out. So, and that is what I got for you. So Michael, do you want to wrap it up?
Just to say thank you, Holly. Great. Thanks for joining us. This will be the first of a restarted series. We provide a lot of information on our professional website called jollypro.com. We're one of the few manufacturers who provide a professionals only site. And we also provide marketing materials on there as well for our studios who are doing branding work. And we recommend it because we help protect price. We do a lot of work to try and make sure that you don't get undercut with online competition, etc. And we think that strong branding and strong partnerships help you from price competition. We'd be pleased to take any more questions, but if you guys are busy, please feel free to drop off and we'll be in touch. Nancy will provide the pricing information that you asked.
If you need anything from what we've showed you today, Nancy can provide you pricing on accessories or on pieces. So she's Nancy at Joli Cameleon, or you can call our home line, which is
the easiest is Nancy at jcwigs.com, because Joli Cameleon is a handful to spell. So if you want, you can use literally that, jcwigs.com, Nancy at jcwigs.com.
Yeah, and also, of course, our phone number, 310-593-9988. So that's all over our website and stuff, so you don't have to remember it. If anyone has questions, feel free to unmute yourself or type it into the chat. Otherwise, you're free to go.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you again soon, I hope.